Grr. That's the feeling. That's the feeling I am getting today for this reading. We are tapping into an energy right now that is, and this I think is the Libra new moon that we are currently experiencing as I film this. But you know, this reading is timeless, so whenever you come across it, this energy will still be relevant for you. But there really is something about the relationship between the self and others. Of course, with Aries season, Libra moon, it's like this is reevaluating and reassessing where we are individually in relationship to other people and in relationship to the world. So what I'm really getting with this like grr kind of energy is an unwillingness to be oppressed, an unwillingness to be repressed. And that means with the self as well as from others. This is like, I'm really feeling revolutionary energy, but it's not coming out in full force on like a stampede. It's not like a war cry, like a war zone. It's like there is the promise of battle, but it's like we are in this stage of waiting before the battle, okay? And it's for the liberation of the soul. This is for the liberation of the self, the liberation of others. So this is really intense, beautiful Aries energy. I think this is like the highest octave, so to speak, of the Aries energy, where battle and war is in the name of love, in the name of liberation and protection, and it's also in response to injustice, because Libra is the sign of justice. Oh, look, we have the Two of Swords here, and we have the Knight of Pentacles. So, but yeah, this is the Aries energy at its most beautiful and its most what's the word I'm looking for? You know what I mean. Its highest expression. It is in defiance of things that are unjust, right? It's a response to that. When there's no other question for why one needs to fight. The only fair response is to fight, right? So that message is coming through really strong. And I would like to say that it's not about fighting and controlling and conflict and chaos. This is like gathering one's internal strength, knowing what your values are, knowing what it is that you're really about, so that you can lead the way with integrity and with certainty. Okay, so let's get into the message. We have Two of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, Two of Wands reversed. So, okay, so we're at I'm seeing like a bit of a standstill with energy in some way. This is about what to do, where to go, what to plan, what to do next. And you're having a moment where you're reorienting yourself in position to where you want to go and what you want. So you might be taking a bit of a pause, and you might be grounding yourself, taking care of the body first, so that you can really, I think you're trying to like work through a mental block and also plan something fresh. I think maybe there has been, like I've said, we'll see how this all relates to the opening message, but there really is a relationship, I think, between where you're at right now, what you're going through, what you're experiencing with this kind of like pause moment, and the recalibration of your energy towards what it is that truly matters to you, and to like fight for your right to like live, I guess, and to not be oppressed. So let's see what else wants to come through. What is this block or this pause moment about, and how are you being encouraged to navigate this? Ooh, Tower reversed, Knight of Swords, Three of Wands, bottom of the deck. Yeah, so, okay. So you really do want to move through something, and I think you're willing to experience great change. I think you either have just experienced great change and are now looking at the future like, what the fuck now? Or you are wanting something to happen that will shake the foundations of your life as it is now and give you a sense of momentum to move forward. Like it'll give you an answer or something. So yeah, because you're looking for more and you're waiting for something to come in. You're waiting for the ships to arrive. Like I think this is leading into a previous message that I had just the other day, where you really are waiting for a sign from the universe to move forward on something, or for some kind of like manifestation to come in. Ooh, interesting. Transformation, death and rebirth, shedding, all change. That means everything changes. Release the petals. Release the petals. Okay, two things here. This says petals, like from a flower, right? So we're getting this like shedding thing of like, whoosh, there's no more, you let go. You let go of all the beautiful things too. You let go of everything. You let go of the life, the previous life, or signs of life. But what I also heard when I said that was release the pedals, like with a D, like in a car, the pedals that you push to go, make the car go. So I'm also feeling that not only is this a shedding, or there has been a shedding process, but you're also in this moment of like literally releasing control, and or willing to slow down. So it depends on what kind of car you're driving, like if it's an automatic, if it's a standard or whatever. But in an automatic, if you release the pedals, the car will slow, right? But if you're like rolling down a hill in a standard, it will just keep rolling, right? Am I right? Tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like that's what happens when you're driving a stick shift. It's like, if you take your foot off the pedal, it just keeps going. Okay, whatever. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe it's the opposite. But in any case, take that in whatever way the real analogy is supposed to be, which is like taking the foot off the pedal is like, it's both letting go and also taking your own, it's like taking your energy back and not pushing forward. But I think you want to push forward, right? So this is why you're stuck. This is why there is this Two of Swords, because you're feeling the need to surrender while also feeling the need to make a big shift, make a big change. And at the same time, you want your manifestations to arrive. You're like, it's time. Something needs to come in. Something needs to change. Something needs to like grow. I need to see some signs here. I need to see signs that this is working or that things are really coming. And I think that what you really want, okay, this is for some of you, but I think what you really want is partnership or collaboration in some way, or that you're waiting for this in some way. I don't think that's for everyone, but I do think that is going to be really significant for some people. But yeah, what is this really about? Spirit, please. Give us clarity on what this reading is about for most of the people tuning into this reading. I am getting, though, that this is a need or a desire for the right people in your life, the right community. You may be like, I think you may be reevaluating that or looking for signs in the people around you, which is why maybe this does tie into that, like a soul reunion thing. Of like looking for soul recognition. You may be just trying to find your community. The Rose of Venus, alignment, flow, right relationship, harmony. Yeah. So this definitely actually does. I think the manifestations that you're really wanting to call in right now have to do with balancing out relationship and of relationships where, and this is not just romantic, this is just like community and people in your life in general, but including romance, I guess, that is like they actually recognize you, they actually know who you are, they actually are in flow with you, they're in alignment with you, and they create harmony with you rather than conflict. So in the cards that I pulled earlier today, I did get this Five of Wands reversed, And that was really speaking to me of like releasing drama, releasing competition. And that is again like this energy of slowing down so that you can really make a decision that feels aligned, that feels like it's actually grounded and rooted in what you want. And I think you're just realizing like, okay, if I don't fucking know what I want and I don't know what's going on, then I think I'm allowed to just slow down for a second. I'm allowed to like, because it's the Knight of Pentacles is very much, he's very stable and still in comparison to the other knights, especially the Knight of Swords. So there's an element in your life that you may even be feeling like there is something coming in. You may be like anticipating a tower moment or something that's going to like rush in and change things for you. But so you're also kind of slowing down and being patient. But there's this energy I'm feeling of like, you know, if you're like, let's say this, you're imagining this guy on a horse walking and you can hear the hoofs and you can hear the rustling of like his clothes and like the jangling of the whatever that's on the horse, like the bridle and stuff. And then he stops, clunk, clunk. And then it's just silence. And then he can start to hear the birds, and then he can hear the wind, and he can hear other things around him, right? Instead of just his own noise. So I think that that's what this is. This is like a moment of you getting still so that, or a little more still, and also coming back into the body so that you can actually use your senses to distinguish like what's around you. That's actually also, if you're not doing this automatically, this is good advice for this moment to move through this moment of decision or indecision is, or even if this is like mental creative block, this is like a good advice card. This is what you should be doing right now, which is to do that, to come back to the body and also meditate. This is like walking meditation or just meditating in nature or just whatever, meditate wherever you want. But the process of truly listening, of opening one's ears, coming back into just the present moment, into the stillness of things, and also starting to notice like how things are breathing, how things are sounding. And there's something about that, not just in like an everyday meditation, mundane sense, but doing this kind of in a broader sense in your life. So instead of filling yourself with noise and this go energy to change things, it's like, take your time. Take your time making your decisions. Take your time looking at things fully. He's like holding a pentacle. He's holding this globe. Inspect things. I feel like he's like inspecting it. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, look at all these. And you're like looking at all the different facets that this thing has, turning it over in your hand. Oh, what's on the underside? What's on the underbelly of that? Oh, look how it looks in the light when I put it over here. Look how it looks in the dark when I put it over here. Like that's the energy you're in. So if you're trying to make decisions between two things or two people or two paths, or there's like multiple different things that you could be manifesting, but you're like, I feel like I don't have the focus yet. Like I feel like I haven't focused in my manifestation. I think it's okay that there's this process, actually very earthy process right now of of looking things over and tasting them and sensing them and processing them through the body and through like what things might feel like, and allowing yourself to take as much time as you need with that so that you can really make, like, you can get clearer. So if this is a person, then we're doing that, okay? This is a little sexy, but like, I mean, you don't have to physically be doing this, although that'd be funny. But you can definitely just be doing this in terms of like reading someone's energy, talking to them, getting to know them. Not like, take your time, hold your boundaries. The Knight of Pentacles is very much about boundaries. I always see him as a guardian of boundaries, a guardian of like actual like gates, because I always see like fields and farms and stuff. So he's sort of like the ruler of, he's the one who like puts in the boundaries and then guards them. Ooh, there is an ending. This like 10 of Swords thing here. Yeah, there really is a period that you were like done with, something you were really done with mentally. This is about a huge mental transformation. like psychological transformation, let me say. And it has to do with you closing out an entire, it's like a history of trauma, a history of pain, history of violence. Maybe that movie is significant, but it's just like that phrase. Fucking done with that. I just can't help but say, fucking done with that. And this is also a no-go. This is like, do not fucking cross me card. So there's an energy here of boundaries. Again, boundaries. Do I want this thing or not? Two of Wands in reverse. Do I want this or not? There has been, I want more clarity on, yeah, so by the way, Seven of Pentacles came out. So this is, again, very much about inspection, about deciding if something is like correct for you. But I want more clarity on this Tower reversed and Knight of Swords, please. Because why? Because why? What is that? Magician reversed. Okay. I'm tapping into the energies. Okay, so this is like, what I'm feeling is your manifesting powers. And so you have been like wanting, this is about desire, wanting self-satisfaction, and then trying to grow things, right? Or like the process of growing things, the process of planting seeds and watching things grow and being disappointed with them. There's this expectation for happiness, and then and why can't I speak? See, this is so weird. An expectation for happiness and an outcome of disappointment. An expectation of happiness and then an outcome of disappointment. Over and over and over and fucking over again. And you still have this expectation of happiness. You still have this expectation of, I know what I want and I know what it feels like. This is where your manifestation is held, is in this energy around you, this like knowing of what it is that you want. And the Magician in reverse, it talks about, there's something, a reversal here. There's a reversal of power. And with the Tower and the Magician both reversed, this is so fascinating. And then this Knight of Swords energy, something about this is really strange. And I think that that's the whole point for you, is that it's really strange. It's like, you've put in place these transformations, these spells, these manifestations, and then something very unexpected happens that is like seemingly the opposite of what you were trying to manifest. I'm laughing, but hold on a second, okay? Because I know it's not funny. I know that this has probably been like a deep shock, because the response is this screamy energy of the Knight of Swords being like, what the fuck? What the fuck? There's like, sorry, excuse my French, but there's like panic here. And there's a need to rush in and understand it, and mentally understand it, intellectually understand it. Why? What the hell? What the hell happened? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? But the thing is like, there's something here, and I don't know why it's funny to me. And I think it's because you're gonna see that this has been part of the manifestation. So, okay, I need one more clarifier on the Magician and the Tower, please. I want to mention that before I did this reading, I was reading about Hades, the god of the underworld. And something about my readings made me think about the Magician as being related to Hades. And maybe I'm confusing this with something from yesterday. So time is very much a stitched together, weird, layered illusion right now, I think. And you might be also having like these strange layovers of like time where you're bridging things together. Things are coming and like almost superimposing on each other and then showing you how they relate, if you feel me. And also your dreams might be doing this as well. So your reality and your dreams are like very much superimposed right now, and they're speaking to and about each other. Okay, there's this like boom, boom, boom. So with Hades magician, I don't know why these two things are related. There's something about being the magician is like calling down the heavens, calling up the chthonic power of the earth and of death, bridging heaven and like bridging light and darkness through yourself, and then like manifesting things into reality. And bear with me here, okay? This is a powerful message, but the gods of the underworlds are also the gods of wealth. They have like in so many cultures, but let's just talk about Hades. He's like the god of riches. He was always referred to as being the rich one, particularly because people didn't want to call him by his actual name Hades. They didn't want to speak the word to call attention to themselves. But it's also because he's understood as being the ruler of the realm beneath the earth, right? Of the underworld, from whence all riches come, metals and crops and food and plant life. And, things that are birthed forth come from the barrenness, come from the darkness of the unseen, of the underworld. So it's understood that he literally is the provider of wealth, or the holder of wealth, and from which all wealth springs. And so there's something about this process of manifestation for you, and this is where the reversal thing is coming in, is like you're experiencing what feels like death, or it feels like failure, or it feels like a lowering of yourself, which actually is leading to a process of wealth, basically rebirth through this experience. I really hope that this message comes through more clearly, because I want you to understand what I'm feeling with this. Basically, it's like what you're experiencing, even though it may feel like an unexpected outcome, it's actually the pathway to what you want. It'll just feel weird, and it might even feel bad, and you might panic in the process. And that's very much an underworld process, and also an underworld medicine, so to speak. And I think that is also in some ways the nature of the gifts of the underworld. They come unexpectedly a lot of the time, right? They come and they feel merciless when they come. Like Hades is this merciless figure, but he's also goodly in some way. And it's because he is nature itself. Like it's so unavoidable. And through an individual going through that process and then like reemerging, like Persephone, like, I mean, it's like how we come into ourselves. And there's an upside downness. This is getting so esoteric, and I really hope that this isn't too much for you if you're still here, but maybe you can I hope that you can connect to this energetically through your imagination. But there's an upside downness in whatever you're experiencing right now, where you feel like you're going down, but actually you're coming up. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that there. King of Pentacles, okay? This is the reemergence. This is the emergence. First of all, this is the maturing of the knight into the king. So this is like setting those boundaries, slowing down, understanding yourself and what's around you, allowing yourself to form into this king of the earthly things. And I think this is also a reflection today of that Hades vibe, of that. And I will say that Hades is much greater than this. It's much greater than a king of pentacles. But there is an emanation from the ground. I'm seeing this King of Pentacles representing the very sturdy growing of a tree, the very sturdy, like, emerging forth of something that is very, very, like, abundant, or it is like the actual process of abundance coming through. So something about this process. So you've been feeling like your manifestations are like going every which way, or like not working. And it's like, and then you've been like, what do I need to do more of? What do I need to do more of? How do I rush forward? And it's like, slow down, because in the slowing down, you will literally find yourself waking up. It's almost like you close your eyes to meditate and then you open them again and you're like a different being. It's like you're the like graduated form. I'm also seeing like the Pokemon like you've transformed into the next, you've up leveled into the next form of Pokemon. This also, like I said, has to do with divine union. If this has, or partnership in some way, collaboration with others and right relationships. So this is you having right relationship with your own life and with your manifestation. It's like you're actually you're getting really in step with your magical power, with your ability to manifest, and that is strengthening you in an embodied way. And it's also like literally transforming your physical life to be one of abundance and security and stability. High Priestess, this is your role. This is it. This is what you're doing. This is what you're doing. Yeah. You're in tune with the shadow and with the light. And you exist there. The sun. So emergence is happening. This is a process that's happening where you are re-emerging and there's been shadow and light. There's been shadow and light in this situation, in your life in general, and right now. There is almost like, this is kind of like spring weather in a way where it's like there's clouds that move across the sky really fast and things are shifting and re-emerging behind the scenes for you. So you're meant to sort of stay grounded through this process. And grounded really does mean like in tune with the body. And it really does mean earthing. And it means like spending time with your boundaries as well as like growing things, gardening, but your manifestations, we have the Sun and the King of Pentacles. So this is this is true growth. This message is because it's trying to confirm to you that you are in fact aligned with the growth and with the illumination of the things that need to be illuminated right now. And okay, Queen of Swords. Yeah, definitely a message about speaking your truth, boundaries, and allowing yourself to communicate what it is that you really are doing right now and that you're really about. Again, with people, this could be a relationship between Queen of Swords, King of Pentacles. So yeah, a healthy dynamic right now is a woman who is self-focused and outwardly focused on, or the feminine energy is focused on what she's doing and how she is being in the world and how she is expressing her integrity and how she is communicating her boundaries and her worth. And the masculine is focused on being grounded, stable, earthy, sensual, appreciative, devoted, and abundant, literally just wallowing. Wallowing is the wrong word, but just reveling in beauty and abundance. This is actually perfect. I think if there is a right relationship for you coming in, or if you need something to hold, anchor you while you discern who is right for you in your life, that is the kind of qualities that you need to be looking for. You need to be either aligning with women. So if you're a woman, this will relate to you and to women you want to be in relationship with right now. If you're a masculine, you'll be wanting to be in this masculine energy and then aligning to masculines that are like this. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, women who are, like I said, focused on their communication, that are really clear with their boundaries, that are really clear with who they are and what they want, that are also not focused on men, that have decentered men. Okay, this is really, really important because this Queen of Swords is not looking at the king, but he's looking towards her. And neither of them are obsessed with each other, but it's almost like the queen is more outwardly focused and the king is turned towards her. He's still situated and grounded. He's still completely whole. He still has everything and more that he needs. but he is turned towards her. So this is like, if you are looking to discern with people, make sure that they are coming towards you with grounded energy, that they're coming towards you with something they real, like abundance and devotion and beauty and like good, healthy, sensual energy, meaning it's not overly sexual, it's not overly urgent. It's like takes its time, it's very stable, and it allows you to take as much time as you need to discern. And yeah, so that's the kind of energy that we're looking for right now, and that you are looking for. And you need to allow yourself to do that. You need to really give yourself that time and be patient. You're allowed to be slow right now, and that seems maybe at odds with the kind of urgency that you've been feeling recently about why things haven't been coming, why things haven't been transforming in the way that you want them to. But this is what the message is for. Is like, it's okay to be slow right now. It's okay to be grounded and careful right now, rather than really intensely making decisions, because clearly you don't have the clarity, or clearly something is like not, there's no go. So that's the sign. It's like trusting the signs, trusting the signals in your body and around you, and allowing things to just be like that, because you're actually still healing from something. Like, you're still healing, and you're still you're not processing. It's more that you're like starting a new cycle. And yeah, so like, it's really interesting. It's like there has been like lots of, I think, a lot of fallout. But I think, I don't know why I keep kind of like giggling about this. And so I think maybe you're also just like coming into an acceptance around things like this, and realizing that there's no point in being like overly stressed about it. And that what's more important is staying focused on the 9 of Cups, like focused on what it is that you know you want, like your vision and your energy, getting really centered in your energy. And yeah, and then like I said, there's certain anchors that you can hold to with like what to look for, what energy to stay in while you're doing that. And yeah, that's the guidance. That's the guidance for the day. Okay, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.